Hey guys, thanks for stopping by again. Really appreciate it. This is vlog number 2, Wolfpack vlogs, I guess. We have Wolfpack plays, so I guess we can have Wolfpack vlogs. I just wanted to sit and have a chat with you guys. I know I was saying on Fridays I'm going to be sitting down, kind of talking about some of the issues that I've been having, some of the reasons why I'm doing the channel, and also some of the ways that I've learned how to cope with some of the issues that I'm having. And first of all, I'm going to go ahead and do something that I would really like if we could all do together. I'm going to go ahead and rank my week. I know a lot of youth groups do this. I know a lot of help groups do this. It really kind of helps me kind of put things into perspective, because it really helps me look at my whole week and really say, hey, yeah, this wasn't that bad, Like I said last week, I've been having a bout of panic attacks. It can be really bad in the mornings. I wake up breathing totally out of control, really erratically. I can't control my muscles because I'm getting such little oxygen, I guess, to them that everything cramps up. I can't move, and I'm just sitting there shaking for sometimes an hour, 2 hours. My wife really helps a lot, and she is done and bent over backwards to try and help me out, and I can't thank her enough. She's a saint. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. Best thing that ever happened to me outside of meeting Jesus. But outside of that, I had a pretty productive week at work. Closed a couple new accounts. I'm doing the right things to move my career in a way that it's gonna be successful. And even outside of that, I got to make some movies. I got to hang out with some friends. I got to go out and watch, unfortunately, Clemson lose to Alabama, but no hard feelings. Both my brother-in-law went to Clemson, so I'm kind of tied to that. But either way, it's fine. Drillers fan. Triple A baseball, Tulsa Drillers. Drill, baby, drill. But overall, it was a good week, and I'd have to rank it probably a solid 8. Solid 8 out of 10. I'd love to hear about your guys' weeks. Leave it down in the comments below. What would you rank your week at, 1 through 10? And tell me why. I'd love to hear about it. And kind of continuing in the same theme as last week, because I know last week I kind of talked about 5 different ways that you can start managing your anxiety and depression. Today I'm going to be kind of talking about a couple more ways how you can deal with low self-esteem. Now, low self-esteem leads to depression. Low self-esteem can be piled on and on and on and on from a very, very young age. How to identify if you have low self-esteem is if you feel certain emotions. Do you feel depressed? Do you feel hurt? Do you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel anxious, ashamed, guilty, just over little things that you do? Do you beat yourself up in your head over little things that you don't feel like you've done to the best of your ability? If you do, you might have low self-esteem, because those feelings create thoughts. Your thoughts react to your feelings, kind of like what we were talking about last time. You can have negative, self-critical thoughts like, I'm so stupid, I'm so worthless, I'm a waste of skin. Not good thoughts to have. You can put up mental filters. You can start kind of assuming what other people are thinking based on your own bias inside, because you think badly of yourself, so you think everybody else is thinking about you, and you think they are thinking badly about you, and all lordy no. And it can get really, really up in your head. And, in reaction to your thoughts, you start to act certain ways. You start trying to overly please other people. You're overly concerned with what other people think. When you're being criticized, you get really defensive. You try to defend every way you can think of that you're not wrong, that other person's wrong. You don't really keep an open mind that way. You're kind of shy, passive around other people, and you avoid situations with other people. You can have social anxiety. And overall, this can create a very, very unhealthy way to live. And trust me, I've been there. It can be miserable, absolutely freaking miserable. And for those of you out there that are kind of experiencing this right now, I want to try and help, because there are some things that you can change to kind of help you kind of snap that mindset. Like we talked about last week, breaking the chains of mental negative thought and changing your thoughts into something more positive. One thing is what I'm practicing right now. You guys can practice the same thing at home, is talking to people assertively. Assertive. I am being direct. I'm projecting my voice. I am speaking very directly to you today. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not trying to sweeten things up. I'm telling you how it is. I'm speaking assertively. And then the next thing is something that I still have a problem with. And I'm like, no! Accepting compliments. When somebody tells you something that, you might think, why did they tell me that? Are they just trying to make me feel better? Instead of trying to figure out and work out why somebody is trying to give you a compliment, for a lot of the time, I'm a words person. There are different, I'll get into love languages in a different video maybe next week, but I'm a words person. I love being verbally affirmed. That's why I love reading your comments, whether they're good or bad. It kind of gears me in the right direction. But my wife isn't necessarily the biggest words person. She's much more of somebody that wants to do nice things for me. So when she's giving me compliments, sometimes if I've got kind of a negative mindset, I'm thinking, is she just trying to make me feel better? Is she just trying to butter me up? Does she really mean that? Is she just saying that to make me happy? Like, okay, cool. Part of giving a compliment is trying to make the other person happy. When you give a compliment to somebody, you're trying to make them feel good about themselves. That's just part of it. You can mean it from the bottom of your heart and so genuinely. But you're trying to make that person feel better. You're trying to make them see something, see themselves the same way you see them. And that's what somebody's also trying to do to you. They're trying to help you feel better. They're trying to help you see you as they see you. My wife tries to help me see me as she sees me. She married me. She's like, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with this one. I picked this one. I picked this one. And it's a great feeling. Some things to stop doing is, well, not stop doing, but something that you can do differently in your head and thinking is just stopping and just taking a breath. I can't even begin to tell you how much taking a breath in the mornings has helped me beat my panic attacks. I went from last week being so messed up that I actually wound up having to take, I wound up taking a couple full days off of work because I couldn't make them go away. But there was this breathing exercise that I remembered, and it really, really helps. Something that you can do is when you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, as everybody always says, but what you do specifically is you picture yourself as vividly as possible in the happiest place you've ever been. Not in your happy place, but just remember back to a place where you have just truly felt really happy and just secure and safe. Remember back to that time in that place. Put yourself there in your head. And when you breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 5. Let out for 8. Rinse and repeat over and over again, and just let yourself live in that happier time and place for a little bit while you're practicing that breathing. Trust me, it helps. It really does. It does wonders for your mental health to just take a breath. And you just kind of got to analyze how you're thinking. Like, are my thoughts kind of getting out of hand? Are my emotions making me think this way? Okay, I'm thinking about this because I'm feeling this and it makes me want to do this. Like I said last week, you got to follow the logical chain of progression from feeling to action. Try to break the chain somewhere so that you aren't stuck acting out in ways that you really don't want to, but you don't know how to do otherwise because that's how you feel. So if I'm feeling depressed and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a loser, but then I go to work with the mindset of I'm a loser, am I going to succeed at work? Am I going to have quality conversations with customers? If you're going to school that way, are you going to have quality relationships with your classmates? Are people going to see you as somebody from even just your outward expression that they want to come up and talk to? Someone they want to be around? Look at that chain. Find your feeling, because you can't help that. You can't help what feeling whatever you're feeling. I'm feeling depressed. But you can change the way you think. I'm feeling depressed. Okay, why? Well, why am I feeling depressed? Oh, because I feel like I'm not getting good enough grades. Okay. Can you control your grades? To an extent, yes. Can you study more? Can you talk with your teachers about it? Yes. So for action, instead of going to school and being mopey, like a little mopey zoo lion. Don't go to school like a little mopey zoo lion. You go to school and you talk with your teachers about it. Hey, this is making me really depressed. This is making me sad. I don't want to feel this way. How can I help my grades? Or if it's work, a lot of works have mental health programs, and even nowadays when you apply for a job, even you have a disclosure form to say whether you've been diagnosed with a mental illness or not. So when I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling depressed, I feel like I'm not going to do well at work, and then you don't do well at work, why don't you feel like you're going to do well at work? Oh, well, I'm not making my numbers. Okay, well, go talk to your boss about it. Have some managerial courage. Get up the gumption to engage your boss in that discussion, because you taking the initiative to, again, talk assertively to your boss about that will make your boss see you in a much, much, much better light, that you're doing something about not making your numbers and you want to do well. And he'll help you. That's his whole job. He wants you to succeed, because more often than not, bosses get credited based on how well their employees succeed. It's just like teachers. Teachers get credited based on how well their students succeed. A manager gets credited based on how well everything runs smoothly, how much revenue they pull in, and how well their employees do. So go talk to your boss. I'm going to leave off with this last little thing. I'm going to read it straight off of a paper, so please forgive me. It's kind of a parable. If you read the Bible, you know what a parable is. If not, if you do any kind of literature, you kind of know what a parable is. Basically, it's a story to kind of analyze what we've just been talking about. It's called the poisoned parrot. Imagine you're given a parrot. This parrot is just a parrot, but it doesn't have any knowledge, wisdom, or insight. The bird is bird-brained after all. It recites things parrot fashion, without any understanding or comprehension. It's a parrot. However, this particular parrot is a poisoned parrot. It's been specifically trained to be unhelpful to you. It's been specifically trained, yes, to be unhelpful to you and continuously commenting on you and your life in a way that constantly puts you down and criticizes you. For example, the bus gets stuck in a traffic jam and you arrive 5 minutes late to work, just five minutes late to work. The parrot says, "There you go again, late. You just can't manage to get there on time. You are so stupid. If you'd left the house and got earlier to the bus, you'd arrived with loads of time to spare and the boss would be happy. But you know where you can't do it. You're useless. Waste of space. Absolutely pathetic. How long would you put up with the abuse before throwing a towel over the cage and getting rid of the friggin' parrot? It would drive you nuts. Yet often we put up with thoughts from this internal bully up here, our minds, far, far too long. Decades. And I was one of these people. All the way up through friggin' last year, I was one of these people. We hear the parrot, believe the parrot, and naturally get upset. Obviously, we're getting criticized constantly over things that don't matter by ourselves. Then that affects the way we live our lives, the way we behave towards others, how we are, what we think about others, what we think about the world, and how we think and feel about ourselves. But we can learn to use the antidote to the poisonous parrot. That damn parrot. Just notice that parrot and cover the cage. There's the parrot again. Okay, don't have to listen to it, just freaking parrot. Leave me alone and then go somewhere else. Put your focus of attention on something other than the parrot. The parrot is poison though, and it won't give up easily, so you'll need to keep using this antidote. Be persistent and be patient. Eventually, it will get tired of the towel, tired of you not responding. It'll just give up. And, maybe fly off, go do whatever parrots do. But you can sort of see the analogy. A poisonous parrot like that is like the bad voices in your head. You gotta do what you gotta do to shut them off. And a lot of times, that's like what we were talking about last week, doing those 5 things that you can do to start managing your anxiety and depression. So on that note, I hope you guys had an awesome week this week. I can't wait to see you again next week in our next Wolfpack Plays. It should be another Destiny highlight coming out Monday. But I will see you all in the next Wolfpack Plays. Love you. Have a great weekend.